There we go. Hi, welcome. I'm sorry about the inconvenience. Let me know if you can hear me. I had to start it all over again because we had some kind of technical difficulties. So, what I wanted to, you know, talk about today, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. And if you saw the name of it, it is, healing the magic, the origins of healing the magic, and namely black magic, namely voodoo. So we're going into where did this black magic and these negative energies come from? They came down at Babylon. And so we are looking. I already did a post about the two angels that brought them down at Babylon. And we learned a lot of people at that time was learning how to do black magic and negative energy and send it to separate people, separate husbands and wives in that time. So these two told these people at Babel, told these people in Babylon that this is just a test. This is a test for you. But they didn't listen. So you can best believe what they took from there. They didn't want to practice the good energy, the rituals, the healing rituals. They wanted to practice the negative energy, the magic that separated people, that harmed people. So, you can best believe that when God sends something as a trial for you, he will send it as in pairs. So the two angels, they came down as two different angels, one good and one bad, one teaching good, one teaching something bad, in order to remove the negative energy. Excuse me. Everything just wants to interrupt me today, but I'll get back to them in a minute. So these two angels, hello, Jackson Mayer. These two angels that came down at Babylon, it says, it gives these accounts that there were angels in Babylon in the Holy Quran, and there were angels that were in the Holy Bible that came down. So it lines up as being similar accounts. So we can talk. We're talking about the origins of healing magic. That's what we're talking about, Jackson Mayer. So, when we are having all of these different kinds of, people at the time, we were all speaking one language in the Holy Bible. It gives that account. You can go look it up in the Holy Bible if you read from the Holy Bible. But it says that all of human beings were speaking one language, and God separated that language in different and separated them so that they could no longer do negative energy, so that they could be in chaos. They could no longer teach each other how to do, this magic and how to build the Tower of Babel. So, we want to make sure that, we are always on point and reading from both books in order to get a better understanding. It is very hard for you to get a good understanding by just reading the Holy Bible. You'll need to read from both books. So, at in the Holy Quran, it says these two angels, Harut and Murad, that taught, the magic, and then taught the healing, how to heal this magic. So this is where we get these healing practices around the world. We got these healing practices from different countries, from different people. like I say, my mother, my great grandmother was a Cherokee Indian, and I was teaching people that they were the only culture of people that I knew of that removed the negative blood from the back until I got into Islam. And then when I found out in Islam that they also make small incisions along the back to remove the negative energy from the back. So, a lot of those kinds of practices, healing practices, are not practiced today because we already know the pathogens that's in the blood that's transferred to people, or is done in a surgical facility in order to remove that negative blood. But a lot of the practices also believe that negative energy is transferred. A lot of it is transferred on the shoulders, on the back. So, we have these healing methods and practices that have been transferred and separated in different cultures: Africa, China, India, the Aztec cultures, and all of them share some kind of practices that was learned how to heal these negative energies at Babylon, from this angel at Babylon. So some of the herbs and things that we use every day and practice and use, even in biblical times, even in Quranic times, we use those herbs today because these practices were given, as a healing method. So whatever came down between those two angels, it was given a healing practice. For everything that is negative, there is some relief that was given. So the angel taught people how to do healing rituals, how to heal whatever negative those individuals who chose to feed their bad wolf, who chose at that test to feed that bad wolf and to do evil among themselves, to take payments for doing negative things among their own people, in their culture, in their community. So we have the people that are around the world, and really, I would really like to go and study with some of those healers, from China, from India, from from the Muslim world, because a lot of these practices, they have remained the same in their culture in order to heal the negative energy that has been sent out from anyone who is practicing the voodoo, the black magic, anyone who is hiring negative spirits. So these are rituals that we can see that have taken shape and form in our culture, that taken shape around the world in other cultures, that they still practice today. And we are really having a hard time understanding that how our American culture fits into that. A lot of people believe that the American culture, the American society, is the new Babylon. These types of cultures, just like negative people, are formed. Every couple of centuries, you'll get a brand new pharaoh. You'll get a brand new evil person. Uh, uh, I forgot his name, Herod. You'll get a new Herod every couple of years. So for every negative thing that is sent, or negative person, you'll have that relief. You'll have the chosen ones in place that know certain rituals, that know certain things in society, how to heal it when those negative societies come on the scene. And again, a lot of people believe that America is the new Babylon, because they absolutely have used, I would say, black matter, black magic, and used on their own people in order to control them, in order to keep them enslaved, in order to harm certain groups among their society. So the way that we can defend that, there are certain chosen ones that know how to defend against that. There are certain chosen ones that, have been redistributed, in different languages, in different cultures, that know how to heal certain things, when these negative people form, their design against us. So basically, and I wanted to make sure that I give you the Bible verse. And again, I'm going to give it to you again. I gave it to you in my first post. Genesis 11:1-9 is where God, separated the languages of the people so that they could not continue to build the Tower of Babel, so that they could not continue practicing evil. And they would, some people had that were taught the negative black magic. They didn't have the cure anymore for it, because God has separated the languages and separated everybody. Please hit the like button if you're coming on in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. And God made sure that, if they were practicing evil, and this was one of the punishments, that once he separated them, they no longer had the cure. You would have to go to other cultures. You would have to be a chosen one in order to have studied that cure or have known that cure in society. So these are some of the things that we want to make sure that we are able to gain from looking at other cultures, unifying with other cultures, how to cure ourselves from certain black matter, certain negative energy. And we are going to look at, and I wrote some stuff down. So we want to look at, the people that are in my generation. A lot of people was asking me, how did I know about these healing practices? And a lot of times in the chosen one's lineage, it comes from the ancient source, the grandparents, the great grandparents. Our mothers and fathers practiced this healing method and passed it down to us. And a lot of us have these different methods that we use in society, and we have gotten it from the source. They are healing methods that were used, during the time of biblical times, during the times of Quranic time, during the times of ancient civilizations. So a lot of these herbs that we use for healing, a lot of the rituals that we do, to remove the negative energy, the silver, the sulfur that we use, we will get that and take that from ancient civilizations, ancient, times that have been passed down over generations. So, like I say, God sends down, when he sends down something, to warn mankind, to test mankind in the holy books, then you can best believe he's going to send a pair. And many times those pairs are as follows: day and night, something that you can see and something that is obscure, something that you can go and, the bounty of God. Then in the you're also supposed to rest and prepare yourself, for the next day. You're supposed to be praying during parts of the night. So these are some of the pairs that I mentioned, that this is how we know that God sent down these two angels at that time in order to test mankind to see which wolf would they go after. Would they go after, the good wolf, or would they go after the bad? And in all things, we know that men, and most men, are pretentious. And a lot of them chased after the bad wolf at that time, wanting to know how to do harmful black magic, toxic energy, sing toxic energy, the evil eye, and all of those things. So when God separated those people, At that time, those people only knew how to send out negative energy. They didn't know how to heal the energy. So these are some of the things that these are our takeaways from this. This is why I'm teaching this right here, right now, because uh black magic and magic is not the same thing as healing rituals. It's not the same, and so therefore, healers cannot be, you know, they cannot be using witchcraft. They cannot be witches. They cannot be warlocks. If you're using healing methods, that were taught you, that have been passed down, I don't even understand um, how you would want to hurt somebody, in your own community, in your own culture, when you haven't even started to fight against the entity. You haven't fought the entity, but you'll fight against your own brother and your own sister, because they have a little bit more than you. They look a little bit better than you, and that's crazy to me. But yet and still people do it, and they do it, irrationally, and they try to harm people irrationally, and try to rationalize it and say, well, all will be forgiven me when, once I pass on and I go meet, God and my maker, all will be forgiven. No, that's not how that works. Whoever you harm with that magic, it has taken you out of the fold of Islam. It has taken you out of the fold of going to heaven. It has sent you, to where those people go to that do evil, that are unbelievers, that are hypocrites. So these are some of the things that I wanted to discuss with you. Why the angels was giving, you a warning. That's why they gave the warning at Babylon, that this is a test that is sent down for you. This is a test that God sent down in pairs, different things. He sent down day and night, good and bad, good and evil, sweet and sour. And I always like to make that, point to you guys, so that you'll understand that when God has sent down something to you, you have a greater understanding that he is trying to test you. He's trying to teach you. He's trying to see where your heart is. Please hit the like button when you come in, please. uh, he he is always trying to teach you and see, if you're serving him or if you're serving the entity. So these tests, come in pairs to see what you're gonna go after. A lot of people are very ungrateful for the gifts that God has given them, to have the choice, to have the free will, to see what you will go after, to see if you will, go after something negative, only money. All you will think about is the money. The way that the entity will teach you, to use something negative against your sisters and brothers, and all you'll think about is the money that you're getting from the entity, but you're not thinking about it's going to harm your daughters, it's going to harm your sons in the long run, it's going to harm your lineage. And the whispers of the shayateen will not tell you that, because he can only whisper to you. It's up to you to follow him. So, these are great points that we can look at in both books. These are great points. Please hit the like button when you come in. I thank you. These are great points that we have, um, from both books, from both holy books, in order to teach us the origins of, where these healing methods came from, and at the time that they came from, where both books, the holy Bible, the holy Quran, coincide with the two angels being in Babylon. And the holy Quran gives an even greater in-depth account of what they brought and why they brought, this type of information to mankind in order to test them. And what's even more, I think what's even more that is great about this story, and great about what they brought, is the healing rituals that's all over the world. When we go to, the I don't think, I think it's Uruvik in India. When we go to India, they have all kinds of different kinds of healing methods. The same with China. The Asian culture has a lot of different healing methods. And I've seen, what is it called, the healing teas that China have, and a lot of the Indian culture, those healing teas. I try to get some of those healing teas myself, because they'll give you a pep in your step. You won't even need any coffee, in the morning. And they're healing. They're good for your inside. Anything that you know um, has been sent to you, your insides, it will remove that negative energy. And we were talking about the bitter herbs used in the Holy Bible, by Jesus and other prophets. That if you make a tea of that, or if you eat that, during your meals, it will remove anything negative in the gut. It will remove anything negative sent to you as a psychic attack. So these are the healing methods and practices given to us in different cultures, in different lands, and separated at Babylon, so that the only way that we could have access to these healing practices is to be able to reintegrate into our brotherhood, unify, and speak a universal language, and speak healing, speak humility. And a lot of people that we're dealing with in society, you can tell those people who don't want to heal, who don't want to teach it or learn how to heal, who want to keep us divided, who want to harm us uh, through, this magic that has been sent out. And they keep, regenerating this society at Babylon in order to control and reclaim those lives over and over again. This is a pattern, a cycle of this society regenerating itself. They don't want to heal. They want to keep you separated. They want to keep you from understanding that these are your brothers and sisters, because all of us spoke one language, until certain ones of us started to do negative, and teach negative things that have been sent down. And we can also see that there have been many times that the angels have visited the earth. There have been many times that we've had visiting angels. And we're not talking about the falling angels in Genesis, but we're talking about the visiting angels that came to bring, good things to mankind, and teach them, good information, how to, how to create our own home, how to do mathematics, how to do all of these things that we've learned how to do. How to create basins. We have that. God sent down the jinns to help Solomon. Peace be unto Solomon. So we have all of these different, kinds of entities that came down at that time, and they were angels. We have angels visiting the earth, fell to the earth in Genesis, and you can go back and read that. We have protecting angels, and it's believed that we have one that sits on both sides of our shoulder, on both sides of us. So these angels have been protecting us and helping us through difficult times throughout history, throughout our time, before we even came, before our parents came. They have been protecting the chosen ones and giving us knowledge and downloads sent from God, from the very beginning. The source, our primal source, is from God. And so If our primal source is from God, then He is absolutely going to protect His chosen ones. He's absolutely going to send relief. He's absolutely going to help us out of danger and harm whenever, we have mankind that goes into excesses like Pharaoh did, like they did at Babylon. So we have to be brought into check sometimes. And sometimes we have to be brought into check, with the good and the bad. And that's exactly what it is saying to us in those surahs in the Holy Quran 2 and 102 and 103, that this angel brought down that which separated a man from his wife, the negative energy. They were practicing that negative energy. So definitely when that much of negative energy is being sent out, it was overbearing, at that time, that you're gonna try to build a tower all the way to the sky, and you're just gonna only take the negative given to you, and you got a choice. You got free will to choose whether you're going to take the good angel's advice, or you're gonna take the bad angel's advice. But we know again that most men, when they see that there's some money to be made, there's some power, they will always choose what is negative, for themselves, and their community, their family, instead of choosing a right, that which will help them, that which will honor their name. They will choose what will defame them and what will bring them misery. So we have these type of things that have been happening throughout history. They continue to happen in our time. And in the greatest thing that I can, give praise, and I can be thankful for, and I'm always thankful that God sends someone, or He sends His chosen ones that will retain that knowledge, that will not let it go, and will use that knowledge, even if they're faced with peril, even if they are faced with harm. And let's just be thankful that at that time, that He destroyed that township. And I do believe that it will be the same thing that happened in America, that they're going to destroy themselves with doing negative energy. This leadership, all of this negative that's being sent out, they're going to destroy themselves. So He destroyed that township and separated those people, because you're not going to, just create chaos and harm people in the land, and think that you're all powerful. When people get to that level, it's just like the Nephilim in the time of the giants. You think you're all powerful, you can't be stopped, and God will always send someone in order to bring that relief, in order to bring that change, in order to heal the situation with the herbs. Uh, what is forbidden knowledge? Checks and balances. Well, yeah, it was. I see. Yeah. So kind of knowledge in order to harm people. That type of information was only used when you were in battle. If you were attacked, you wasn't allowed to use negative energy against your family, against your community, against the people, because of money. This only came about with the entity. So we have to be very, very careful about when we encounter people, or trying to run to people who do malevolent practices for hire. A person that is a healer cannot be hired just to attack people. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please make sure you hit the like button. So we always want to be able to heal anything negative. There are certain chosen ones that still retain the energy and the information in order to the know-how, the ingenuity to heal the negative energy that certain people practiced back then, and they continue to practice back then, and they're doing it now in society. And we have to be able to know how it feels different when you encounter those people who know how to heal it, in difference to those purpose people that just, that just want to attack people. Yeah, I appreciate the gratitude that God gave me, and I appreciate all of you for coming in, and wanting to know how all of this is, it ties in together. Why we have so many people up on earth in societies that have chose the way of the entity to feed the bad wolf and to use black malevolent energy, not only in the homes, in the communities, but in society. A lot of our governments have taken this negative energy and sent it out and to harm certain groups of their people. And we can guard against it if we come together in unity, because it's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. It's like the map. When you see all of these different countries, and you see all of these different people upon the earth and upon the land, the map looks like a puzzle. And so is the healing methods that a lot of these ancient cultures possess. So I hope that this has been very informative for you. You can reach out to me. You can read the Holy Bible. You can read the Holy Quran, and see what this says. Holy Quran, Surah Al Baqarah 2:102 through 3. And you can read Genesis 11:1 through 9. And you can see these, what it says about Babylon and the angels. And you make sure that you read more than just one holy book, because there's a lot of information that you can gain that can heal you from reading more than one holy book. I hope that this has helped you. You can reach me in the description below. You can book a session. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can donate to my channel. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.